biggest or second biggest public school in North Carolina, right? So what does your role look like there now? Okay. High school strength and conditioning at this massive school. You could give me whether it's day to day, what a week looks like, but just kind of describe what that role there looks like for you.
Yeah, so I train most of our student athletes. I have about 200 kids during the day between
Hmm.
classes. Probably 80% of them are from general population, so I got to train a lot more of my athletes after school.
Okay.
North Carolina in general is behind the times in having full-time strength conditioning coaches. Like
Yeah.
right
Yep.
now, I'm right now I'm back in school to get my teaching license just to work at a public school. And at this
Crazy.
point,
Yeah.
like that's kind of like tough pill to swallow, and it's become
Hmm.
like a real pain in the ass to do. So I mean, like I start the day like we have like an athlete only block, and then I have like two blocks of kind of general population. Our football coach will run kind of a girls only strength and conditioning class as well. That's a steady mix of
Nice. Yeah.
athletes and general, and I have that during like my planning period. But really like planning period is also during lunch block. So
Hmm.
I spend a lot of time like talking to athletes and inviting them into the weight room because we're really close to the cafeteria. Like
Yeah.
whether it's just sit down and eat lunch, or if they want a foam roll or band stretch, or if
Really
I can
cool.
kind of
Really cool.
help the athletic trainer with some rehab stuff during that time, being able to have our kids be able to utilize our space, I think is important. And then after school, like I always say, like my second job starts at 2:30. Um, so I usually have 3 to 4 blocks of 45-minute blocks after school where I'm training a wide variety of teams depending on the day, depending on the season. Um, I train almost all of our teams, and we're a couple steps away from training literally everyone. Um,
Crazy.
like I could have a group of 15 in the weight room. I could have a group of, I mean, I'll take as many as like 80 to 85. I got a 2,400 square foot weight room, but I'm lucky that I got a whole lot of kettlebells, a whole lot of dumbbells, that I can kind of, and then bands that I can kind of take out in the hallway or take out onto the sidewalk. Um, I have really supportive sport coaches, who are
Good.
invested,
Good.
and they're a part of the lift. And I think they're really good coaches as well. Um, I have interns kind of in and out that help me kind of spread out and spread thin. But really, I got to make the most of my opportunities. For the most part, I'm only seeing our athletes twice a week for 45 minutes tops. Um, Football and baseball get a little bit more, but they invest into my program,
Hmm.
pretty good amount, so they kind of sweeten that pot for themselves.
Yeah.
As well as like I'm a baseball guy, so I'll always kind of like push for baseball, but the sport coach is very invested in it. But also like the dynamic that we may not see too is, and like I didn't really see it growing up, was all of my kids lived within 10 minutes of school.
Hmm.
So if they can go home for 2 hours and do homework or take a nap or whatever, like they can drive back to campus and come to lift, even if it's
Oh,
4:45 in the
interesting.
afternoon
Yep.
rather than just a 2:30 time.
Hmm.
Because it's going back to that culture piece. Like if it matters to them, they make it work because
Yep.
there's really no excuse when you live less than 10 minutes from school to get back for a training session with me.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And so,